Hi, Dr. Joe here with 90 Seconds on Health. I've been receiving some emails from Germany that I didn't quite understand. So I went on a little search to find out what would be the reason for some of these discussions. I found the reason for it in a journal that I don't usually read. It's called Current Opinions on Clinical Nutrition and Metabolism Care. And the issue is January 2008. So it's quite current, and it comes from Hamburg. Hamburg, one of the cities we toured when we were introducing the concept of the Pro-Arginine Plus back last fall. Great time, great city. Second time I've been there, and each time it's better yet. But what this is about is to look at arginine as a mechanism of health and in certain concerns of diseases. And let me say that this concept in general, I felt in the world, had been silenced after the New York Times announced that the Nobel Prize in Medicine had been given to the nitric oxide pathway, and that enabling this made everybody really good in terms of cardiovascular disease. But let me go through the things that they elucidated that do get better when you do use arginine. First, it was the brain. The nitric oxide acts as a neurotransmitter. Pretty cool. In the immune system, the nitric oxide acts as a mediator of host defense. This is really interesting. And the cardiovascular system in general, endogenous, that means inside you, atherosclerotic processes are reversed. So, what is there left to talk about? Well, they talked about the fact that L-Arginine at 5 grams a day is the usual dose that would be ever used for somebody to get better. No news there. And improved symptoms of improved cardiovascular disease, that's angina, all the other things we know about in terms of this. But then they talk about something called asymmetric dimethyl arginine. Now, back in about 2000, the cardiovascular unit, research unit at Stanford made the recommendation that we use this to find out, are you lacking in any situation where you need more L-arginine to reduce this to normal. In other words, a test you could do in the blood, and that would tell you whether or not you could reasonably expect that everything would go back to normal when you use arginine. And the concept really works, but the test has not gained widespread use throughout the United States. In fact, it's very hard to obtain it, although recognized in the vascular world as being an important thing. Asymmetric dimethyl arginine is good, but it's hard to find out a place to get it. If it is not elevated, arginine won't work because the inner lining of the arteries are absolutely normal. So you wouldn't expect to find something that was up when it's not normal to be up when you wanted to change something. So what this paper confirms to me, although it seems to raise all kinds of doubts, and maybe this is confusing to you, this seems to be that they're recounting in the brain, the immune system, the cardiovascular system of any sort really does well with L-arginine. And there's no question that, in my mind, that this shows this paper from Hamburg has it right on the money. There is nothing wrong with using L-arginine for any of these situations. So I think it's anybody's time if you want to go on this particular product.